Hello. Hello, Meg. About 3 weeks ago, I turned out a bucket of potatoes. On that same day, one of the jobs I had to do was to thin out some parsnips in the raised bed. So I put 2 and 2 together. I had a bucket, I had some soil, and when I thinned those parsnips out, I was going to have some parsnip seedlings that maybe would transplant. So, put the soil back in the bucket after putting it through a riddle, and we planted 7 parsnip seedlings. I wonder if those 7 parsnip seedlings have survived. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to cut you to the video that I shot 3 weeks ago of me moving those parsnip seedlings into a bucket. Then when you come back, we'll be outside, we'll check those parsnips out, we'll see if we've got 7 survivors. See you when you come back. Come on, Meg, we'll go outside and get ready. Come on, Daisy, come on outside. Okay, before we go down the garden for the parsnips, let me just show you this. Pencil, teaspoon, we're going to need those. Garden riddle, this is some of the larger material that was in the soil, that was in the wheelbarrow that you saw earlier in this video. I've simply put that soil through this garden riddle, taken this out, and the soil's in this bucket now. Let me just get rid of this. Okay, so this is simply the base from a 10-inch pizza, polystyrene base with 7 equally spaced holes in it. I'm going to plant 7 of those parsnip seedlings into this bucket, and this is going to enable us to give each parsnip the same amount of room. Yes, it is. Oh, hello, Meg. Oh, Meg's in the garden. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to mark the stations like this. Are you paying attention, Meg? Or are you having too much fun with that rope? We're going to mark the stations like this. Let me just... not too sure how this comes out. So there are our 7 stations. And we're going to open them up further than that because we want to give these parsnips a reasonable chance of getting a good contact with this soil once they're in here. Okay, so there's our 7 planting holes. Right, let's pop down the garden and get 7 parsnip seedlings. Are you up for this? I know you are, you've come this far. Come on, let's go. Meg, we're going down the garden. Come on, down here. These are the parsnips. It's a variety called White Gem, and it's described as a medium-sized variety. So we're not expecting too long a root on this particular parsnip, but we don't want one, do we? Those pots are hardly 10 inches deep. So I'm going to try and tease some of those plants out using my teaspoon. When we've got 7, we'll go back up the garden and we'll plant them. Okay, I'm going to move around to the other end of the row now to complete this job. I think you've got the gist of this. I don't think you need to say any more. But what I am going to do now, before we go back up the garden, is I'm going to give these parsnips a drink of water, because we have unsettled some of the roots on the parsnips that are remaining in the bed. Meet you back up the garden. Well, that didn't take long, did it? These are the seedlings. Generally, the more soil attached, the better chance you have that they'll actually get a hold. So we'll just pop that in there like that. How's that? There's no soil disturbance on that particular one because it had a good soil ball attached to it. Let's move this pencil. Try and lift them by the seed leaves. That's the two smaller leaves. Just pop that in there like that. Straighten it up and tuck it in. Pop that in there like that. Tuck it in. A lot less soil on that one. This one will need to get a good contact, otherwise you could quite easily lose it. But don't worry. There we go. Now, as you can see, there's a couple of these got true leaves already, but they only have the one true leaf, as opposed to the two seed leaves that you can see. Last one. And this one only has the two seed leaves. It hasn't even developed its first true leaf yet. So that's the baby of the bunch. And we just put this down. Give Meg the rope. Now what we need to do is give them a drink, isn't it? Right, Meg? Now what I'm going to do now is, these seedlings don't want any sun and they don't want any wind, as the wind will just blow them over and the sun will dry them out. So what we'll do is, we'll stand these next to a wall. If you're doing this, if you've got a shed or a greenhouse, anything, just get them out of the wind, get them out of the sun and get them established. Okay, and we'll have a look at these in a few days' time, see if we manage to get all 7 to root. Okay, that's it then. Transplanting parsnip seedlings from a raised bed into a 10-inch ex-cut flower water bucket using soil that's already produced potatoes. If we get these out at the back end of the year, in the autumn of the year, that's 2 crops, 1 bucket, same soil. Hey, come on, it's worth having a go. This isn't it. If you've got a bucket and you've got some soil, and you've any of these in the garden, you might want to lift a few and do what I've just done now. See you in a few days' time. We'll check these out. A week later, and all 7 parsnips are still standing. First, let's have a quick look at the parsnips still in the raised bed. Now let's go and have a look at the parsnips that we transplanted into the bucket. All 7 parsnips have got away, so we're over the first hurdle. We've got them transplanted, we haven't lost any. And I think all I've really done since you last saw these was kept them out of direct sunlight, kept them out of the wind, and made sure they didn't dry out. I've got 7 parsnips away. There's a long way to go. There's probably another 3 months of growing left in those parsnip shed before we harvest them. Hope you've enjoyed the video. This is Homegrown Veg, signing out.